Look, I stand proud and I stand tall. This is not a victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am. Keep trying. That's not going to stop me from being a journalist. You're not going to diminish my voice. Go ahead, make me into the new Jimmy Kimmel if you want. Because I'm not going anywhere and I'm going to believe the same things, whether you want to, whatever. None of this is about justice. This is about power. And it's about people who are incompetent.
Well, that backfired. This did not age well. Now, you ever notice how some people only believe in consequences when they're meant for other people? Yeah, rules feel righteous until they get personal. Then suddenly it's context, it's nuance, it's activism, it's journalism. You know, all the isms right there. You know, what you're about to watch isn't beef, though. It's a pattern. You know, a pattern the left keeps pretending doesn't exist. Right up until the moment accountability taps them on the shoulder. And when that happens, they don't argue facts. They quite literally argue feelings. Now, I want you to watch this closely. In this order, it matters.
Into Minneapolis a little bit ago and did some reconnaissance on the ground, speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. Diverse community. If you see this, when we first pulled up, we're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we're like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up, and it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account.
Oh, dang, that sounds like the situation you're in, Don. They done caught you. And now they're about to hold you accountable. Y'all see that? Look at this. Just then, federal agents arrested Don Lemon as he was supposed to be covering the Grammys in Los Angeles, was rolling storming the Minnesota church. LMFAO. Couldn't happen to a more deserving Fox journalist who helped terrorize women and children. Time to proceed. Yeah, man. This is the moment. It's not a tweet, not a panel, not a lecture. My boy got handcuffs. This is a part the Democrats gonna hate. When reality shows up and interrupts their narratives because the camera doesn't care which side you're on. Now I want you to notice what happens next, though. When the visuals are undeniable, they rush to something louder, even louder, authority language.
Alert, journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Bill Malusian joins us now with more on this breaking news. Hey, Bill.
Yeah, Charlie, good morning to you. Our colleague David Spunt and I getting this breaking news from multiple law enforcement sources just minutes ago, confirming that former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles just after midnight this morning at a hotel. This obviously all in connection with that storming of a church in St. Paul, Minnesota by that group of anti-ICE agitators. Now remember, the feds had gone to judges to try to get Don Lemon arrested before. They went to a magistrate judge in Minnesota who didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to a judge above him. He didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to an appeals court. They also decided not to sign off for an arrest warrant for him. So there was experts who were predicting that perhaps the feds would go to a grand jury. It remains to be seen if that's what happened here, but we can confirm that Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles by federal agents just after midnight Los Angeles time at a hotel. Now, typically, standard procedure with an arrest like this is the defendant will likely make their first court appearance sometime the same day. So there's a chance we may see Don Lemon make his first court appearance in Los Angeles sometime today. But obviously, this is going to grab all sorts of headlines. 3 other protesters from that church storming, have already been arrested, including who the feds say was the organizer of that protest. The woman in the middle there is a school board member in St. Paul, and then the mugshot on the right is an online personality / agitator, if you want to call him that. He's known as the woke farmer. Those were the 3 people that the feds had already arrested, but we have confirmed that Don Lemon has now been arrested in Los Angeles in connection with that viral incident. We all saw the video of it that spread and drew widespread condemnation. The feds have been going after these people on FACE Act violations. So this is still breaking news. Once we get more details about the potential charges here, a court appearance, we'll, of course, update our viewers, guys.
Really appreciate it. Of course, if it was a grand jury that did indict him, that's pretty unimpeachable. Bill Melugin, thank you so much. More Fox and Friends.
Indicted by a grand jury? Possible court appearance today? Yeah, man, grand jury. Those words matter. What is this on my beard? I don't know. That was on my beard this whole time. Y'all not gonna tell me? I can't trust y'all. No, I'm playing. But yeah, those words matter because it kills the excuse that this is just politics. This isn't Trump targeting journalists. This is the system saying you don't get a press pass or a badge or a hall pass. It's called, equality under the law. Something we have been saying forever while the Democrats try to sit there and roll their eyes. But here's where it gets even more uncomfortable, y'all, because consequences. Okay, is it going to load up? Oh, it is loaded. My bad. I'd be afraid of the black screen. But because consequences don't make sense unless you rewind the tape. So let's rewind.
I'm going to do it this time. I think Nicki Minaj has made it very clear how she feels about African Americans in this country. I don't think she's one of them, obviously. And she should, under Trump's rules, she should be deported because I don't think, reportedly, that she is a legal citizen here. She is undocumented. And so she has shown her disdain for African Americans. So why are you supporting her? Why are you buying her records? She's also supporting, I have lots of gay friends who love Nicki Minaj. Why are you supporting this homophobic, bigoted, ignorant woman? You should not be supporting her. Nicki Minaj, this is clearly out of her depth. She doesn't understand politics. She doesn't understand journalism. And I'm not surprised that she is weighing in on something that is beyond her capacity. What I will say to her is, because she put a doll, I think she put the Chucky doll in there, a better symbol that should have been represented in that picture is a pick-me doll, because Nicki Minaj is a pick-me. She will do anything that is expedient for her politically. And again, she's ignorant. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's always weighing in on things that she doesn't know about. Nicki Minaj should just sit the fuck down. And by the way, isn't she married to an alleged pedophile? And she has the nerve to say something disparaging about and something homophobic. I'm pretty sure that maybe that's part of the reason that she is cozying up to the Trump administration for some sort of leniency for her family members. And it's just very transparent. So Nicki Minaj, F off, stop being a homophobic bigot, and, get a life and some brains.
No.
Okay, we will leave it there. All right. I know you said you don't normally respond, but that was a response.
That was definitely a response. And I'm glad they responded back, my boy. Don Lemon calls Nicki Minaj homophobic and bigoted and says she should be deported. But, she just got her card. Okay. Now, y'all, listen to that confidence. That sounds, that's the sound of someone who thinks the rules only move in one direction. Calling for deportation, calling for punishment, calling for state power when it's aimed away from them. This is, the Democrats' favorite move, weaponize morality, then hide when the blade decides it want to swing back. Now, once that plow slips, I want you to watch how fast seriousness turns into mockery.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Cocksucker, stop.
Well, she doubled down on her initial tweet, if y'all remember. After these events the events took place in a church with Don Lemon, Nicki Minaj posted that famous cocksucker tweet. Yeah, y'all remember. No press conference. She's not doing no apology tour like I told y'all. Just dismissal of that guy. And suddenly the serious journalist becomes a punchline in this right now. Now, the left hates this part, too, because, culture doesn't wait for permission. But now comes the most revealing moment of all, when the consequences are real and the quote-unquote elites are panicking, is what they're saying.
Don don't gotta talk.
Hello, Shade Room.
Don don't gotta talk. I'ma talk. Proud of Don. We proud of Don. We gonna advocate for Don.
That's right.
And we need to protect Don at all costs.
Oh, really?
His job in the divine alignment way. And we salute him for that.
Thank you, my brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Don don't gotta.
Oh, wow. Protect Don Lemon at all costs, he says. Protect him from what? The law? This is the tale. When accountability shows up, I mean, they don't even want to ask what happened. They just, ask who needs covering. Same rules for you, different rules for them. It's not justice, that's a club. And we ain't invited. And just in case anybody thinks this is a spin, I want you to end it with the source that they trust the most.
Breaking news now, just into our CNN newsroom. We are learning journalist, former colleague of ours, former CNN anchor, Don Lemon, has been taken into custody, arrested just days after a protest inside a Minneapolis church. Now, he has maintained that he was going in as a journalist to cover the protest. Let's get right to CNN's Kara Scannell, and CNN chief media analyst Brian Stelter is also here with us. Kara, what are you learning first about this arrest that we should note? A magistrate judge, had rejected the federal government's attempt to put him under arrest just 1 week or so ago.
Sarah, that's right. We had reported that earlier this week that the magistrate judge had rejected an attempt by DOJ to bring criminal charges against Don Lemon. What we have learned is that last night in Los Angeles, in the 11 o'clock hour, Don Lemon was arrested in the hotel lobby in Beverly Hills and taken into custody. Now, it is not clear at this time what he is charged with, or if he is charged in a criminal complaint, or if he is charged in an indictment which would have been returned by a grand jury. But it does appear to be connected to that because, as we reported earlier this week, the Attorney General Pam Bondi was livid that Lemon was not charged at the time. It appeared that they were going to continue to try to bring charges against him. And now we know that Lemon was arrested last night in Los Angeles, where he was in town to cover the Grammys. I do have a statement from his attorney, Abby Lowell, and it says in part, Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth and hold those in power accountable. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing this work. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed 2 peaceful Minnesota protesters, the Trump Justice Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. Now, we do expect Lemon to make an appearance in court today. That is usually the process that follows when someone is arrested, and then it will be up to the judge whether he gives him bail, which would be expected in this case. So we're likely to learn more details about exactly what he is charged with, what form he is charged in, and if this was returned by a grand jury. And then we'll see potentially Lemon later today, but he's being held and has been held overnight in Los Angeles, unarrested on some charges that appear to be related to Minneapolis. Sarah?
Yep. So CNN just confirmed Lemon is in federal custody. Charges tied to the church disruption. Now, when CNN has to confirm it, the argument is over. This is what, we've been warning about for years. You don't get to preach no one is above the law and then, melt down when the law knocks on your door. Now, how this works. This isn't revenge, y'all. This is symmetry. That's what this is right here, y'all. And the reason this story makes people uncomfortable is simple. The rules finally stop playing favorites. Now, if we could just get these rules to stop playing favorites over there in Minnesota, I'm just saying. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment. I'll be trying to stay away from receipts, but we're going to put it up in there. Receipts don't expire. Yep, that's what we're going to write. I want to know who actually stayed to the end. Other than that, y'all be safe. Please go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.